Hello there, everybody, and today I am super excited to talk about this episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called Requiem. Sorry if I didn't say it right, but this is where Super Shredder has finally reached his limits. He has been injected with super mutagen by Baxter Stockman. Now he can't get hurt whenever his heart is touched, or he can't get injured or lose some of that mutagen. He is perfection, and he uses this to his limit. He tests it when he takes out a bunch of footbots and a Karai silhouette. It's all holograms, level 12, and so that's how powerful the Super Shredder is, who's now ready to make his next move. This is where we see our fellow characters they're at the lair, and they are ready to watch the final episode of Chris Bradford and his Two Rough Crew. I don't think I really talked about that, but Mikey says, "My bros, this is the final episode. We've made it this far," and so he plays the show, and we do see. I guess the big plot twist is revealed that Chris Bradford's little sidekick is the bad guy. And he turns into, I guess this is a reference to Carter from the 80s Ninja Turtle show, which is some reason not very liked in the TMNT community. But Chris Bradford stops it, and that's the end of the show. And then their excitement was ruined because they felt they waited all for nothing. But while that's all going on, Leo decides to go into the dojo, and he notices Splinter's been not really doing much lately. He's just meditating and being very distant. But Splinter's like, "Let's not worry about me. Let's talk about you." And then he asks Leo why he became leader in the first place. And then Leo's like, "Because I asked." He's like, "Nope." And he says, "Your leadership comes from your mind to your heart." And that's the message later in the episode where Splinter's telling Leo to lead the team from his heart. But the other turtles ask Splinter to come to the Metanimal's crib where they're all hanging out. And Splinter's like, "I can get out of the house," the sewer, basically. And so they all leave, and we get foreshadowing of Splinter and the turtles. But they do go to the Metanimal's crib. They're all hanging out. Mondo's skating. He's trying to fight Brad, the monkey, Dr. Rockwell. I don't know. I lost the train of thought. But yeah, they are interrupted by when they're trying to plot their next move for Super Shredder. But Karai notices that the cams are going off because someone has invaded, and that being the Super Shredder. And yeah, he's going full nuts this time. He literally takes out Letterhead, Slash instantly. He burns their computer. And Dr. Rockwell tried to use some plasma ray on Super Shredder, but it didn't work at all. So that's how super tough he is. And it's able to withstand anything. But Karai tries to fight the Super Shredder despite the burn and decay. But she is easily taken out, and it shows that Super Shredder doesn't even care anymore about Karai. He's going full rage mode. He's wanting to destroy all his enemies, and he's willing to even hurt Karai, like I said. But he throws her off the building, the platform, and she's crushed by rubble. But Splinter and the Turtles make it at the last second, and they are able to save Karai, and Leo does mouth to mouth. And of course, Karai survived. And now Shredder has reached his limits. But Splinter notices a trail where some of Shredder's goons went and Super Shredder. While the ambulance picks up Karai and Shimigami, the turtles leave with the Mighty Mutanimals. But they team up. They split up into groups. But Leo thinks that's a bad idea. But Splinter reassures him to fight from his heart. So Leo, Mikey, Donnie, and Letterhead all team up to stop Razar and Fishface wherever they're going. But Splinter teams up with Casey, April, Raph, and Slash to go after Super Shredder. And that's what they do. They go to the old, like, a roller skating place they went to all the way back in season 3. And it leads to a big fight between our characters. But meanwhile, all our Splinter and his group go encounter the Super Shredder. And yeah, it's not going well, because Super Shredder is saying how he's ready to finally kill Splinter and rid from his nightmares. And Splinter's like, indeed, I will end your nightmare permanently. But while that's all going on, the Turtles, Bebop, Rocksteady, Fishface, and Raza are all fighting. It's an intense battle. But Razar manages to take out Leo. But he's about to eat and says, like, stay down, Leonardo. But then Letterhead literally grabs Razar and drowns him. I was like, whoa. Honestly, when I saw it back then, I didn't even remember Razar was drowned until I realized in season 5, that's a spoiler. But yeah, Razar dies. By the way, you're getting a major spoiler review. But you probably know that. If you watch these regularly, I don't know. But Razar dies. And it turns out this is all a trick. And yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady get away. They realize they were all set up, and all the Turtles and their allies go to wherever the other characters are. But yeah, things are not going well. They're on the Wolf building where they first fought the Turtles, the Wolf Hotel building, all the way back in season 1. And yeah, he takes out Casey, Raph. He froze Raph, ready to throw him off a building, but he bumps into Casey. Then Casey falls to his death off the building, but he manages to survive. But he gets his mask smashed. And he takes out Slash and barely April. And Splinter's doing his best to take out the Shredder. But we get one little reference to the movie, where Splinter's like, "I'll take me out permanently," and Splinter pulls out his little rope around his staff, and he manages to dodge Shredder and throw him off the building, just like how in the 90s movie Splinter took out Shredder by just using Mikey's nunchuck. But when Leo arrives, he screams, and something very unfortunate happens. Splinter is impaled by Super Shredder. It's very dark, very deep, and we see it on Raph and April's face. And Splinter is literally thrown off. Shredder says, "Hamato Yoshi dies," but then April's got a trick up her sleeve. She literally goes full power mode on Super Shredder and manages to throw him off the building. And then Splinter unfortunately dies in Leonardo's arms. And Super Shredder falls into a garbage and then Casey presses the button and says, "Oops," just like in the movie. And the Turtles mourn Splinter's death. They all reflect on their most fun memories of Splinter, where Splinter stopped Mikey, tried to fight Mikey while he was wearing his headphones. That was in the Monkey Brain episode. When Splinter has that talk with Raph all the way back in Spider Bite. And also his moment with Donnie. But for Leo, it's when he was a child, given his sword for the first time. And then Leo cries, and the Turtles carry Splinter to the Shellraiser. And it turns out Shredder is still alive, of course. And that's the episode. So this was easily the top TMNT episode. Easily my favorite. Is the most intense. Easily the most dark. And this show had the guts to kill Splinter off. And it's very sad. And it tears up seeing Splinter die. And yeah, it's permanent. It's what sucks about it. But this is easily the best Splinter incarnation. And this isn't the last time we see Splinter. But we'll get into that in the next episode. This episode's easily a 10 out of 10. You gotta check it out. I don't know what else to say about it, but I like it. It like shows how tough Super Shredder is. He took out everybody in this episode. It's kind of like Thanos, if you really think about it. But yeah. So, the next episode is the finale. We've already made it this far in the show. Even if we don't get many views in this, we still did our best reviewing this show. And we're going to keep going at it. So, with that being said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power.